It's Monday, so that means it's time for a new episode of the Joust About Careers podcast, where you can learn about careers from the people who are actually in the trenches every day. I'm your host, Brian Brock, and I'm a career advisor and English teacher at Buren High School who wants to see all people make good career and life decisions. My guest today is Chance Conley, an apprentice engineer with GROB Systems in Bluffton. Chance shares about life as an apprentice, the various types of training he's receiving in mechanical and electrical engineering, the many benefits that are part of the apprenticeship, advice he has for future apprentices, and much more. I hope that what Chance shares today will help all of you make better career decisions and have fulfilling career journeys. Until then, enjoy the show. Welcome back to another episode of Joust About Careers. And today we have a very recent Van Buren graduate with us, 2022 graduate Chance Conley. And we're talking to him today about his experience as an apprentice for GROB Systems in Bluffton. A really great apprenticeship program they have. So I really want other people to hear about his experience. So maybe others will go to GROB and also explore some of the other apprenticeships that are available in Northwest Ohio. So Chance, thank you very much for joining me today. And I'd like to start just by learning about what does a typical day for you look like right now as a GROB apprentice?
All right. Yeah, thank you for having me. But you usually just start in the morning, first shift, right about 7 o'clock is when I start, and we end at 3:30. That's when we usually get off, and we obviously have the options to work overtime now. As when you get later in the year as an apprentice, you get more opportunities to work overtime, make more money, whatsoever. And usually, start beginning of the apprenticeship, we have our basic training. So my first few months, we started, and there's two different rotations. We had a mechanical and a electrical rotation, and they split half the apprenticeship in one, half in the other. And I started in electrical, and what my day usually looked like as soon as I got there, I'd go upstairs, and we'd have little rotations within electrical and mechanical. And I started off in soldering. And I think there was 3 different rotations. There was soldering, PLC, and wiring. And those are the 3 basics, like the very basics of our wiring or electrical rotation. And at first, we started in soldering, and we get to learn how to solder wires, just learn how to really work with it. And we get to build cool things and cool little gadgets to really help. You get to make these little airplanes. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But little solder airplane. And for wiring, we just all a bunch of little projects, lots of hands-on stuff. And obviously you're gonna read from a book, do little workbooks, but other than that, it's really fun. It's just lots of hands-on. If you're a hands-on person, this is what you're gonna like. Just you get to build cool little toys in your free time, get your work done. But after that, we go to wiring, which was my second rotation, which consists of big grids, and you start with your power supply, and you get a bunch of little relays, and you wire from relays to or other buttons to do certain tasks. You have little exercises, you push one button, it turns on a relay, and then you push another button, it turns off. A lot of simple stuff, but that's how the wiring starts off. And then you get to your third basic rotation as electrical, and that's PLC, which is Programmable Logic Controllers. Almost messed that up. And that's where the machines that GROB builds, they run off. Every machinery runs off logic controllers. And we learned to run programs on little basic training on our laptops on these little stations you build that have the PLC inside, and you get to learn how to program it. You get to run certain tasks. like change a tool bit out or put a new part in for like the machines that we build.
Right.
But that's all you do really in PLC, and it's all the basics, and you have your supervisor up there that tells you if you need help. Like a lot of it's like you got to figure out on your own because it's a lot of hands-on and just they want to see what you can do. But like you ask, you get help. Stuff's honestly really fun.
Right.
But after that, you move on to once you get through your 3 rotations, you switch to your mechanical rotation, which was my secondary rotation. And you start off with a piece of steel or little piece of steel right here, and you get a file and a a square, and you got to get it perfectly square, like this, and perfectly flat like this. And you learn how to drill and tap into it, which is pretty fun.
So
Different sizes.
how long did it take to make that square?
Uh, they give you a lot of time. A lot of people don't end up finishing, but I roughly took like 8 weeks. I don't
Oh,
know.
wow. Okay.
It takes a lot of time.
Right.
8 hours a day, you filing away. But it's not. It's probably the worst thing you do, but it's honestly not that bad when you get done with it. And I guess you get a little cool little shiny block if you decide to polish it. But
Right.
yeah, that's one
Ver-
of the that's the first project you work on.
Okay. Very cool. So did you have much experience in these things before you went, or is it pretty much you were a blank
Eh,
slate and they're
Uh,
teaching you?
I kind of went in there with a blank slate. Like most of the things I've learned, I've had no clue what they were, like what I'm doing. Most of the time I'm sitting there, I don't even know what I'm looking at. But now after basic training, I mostly know everything I'm looking at. I got a general idea of what I'm looking at. But yeah, a lot of people that came in the apprenticeship don't really know what they're doing, but
Right.
you learn a lot.
Right.
You learn a lot.
Right. Cool. So when you were in high school, when did you initially start thinking about GROB as an option? What steps did you take to eventually end up there?
Um, I think I heard about it like around my junior year. I was still looking at a bunch of different options. I had no clue what I was doing, but I think my mom told me about it, and then I started looking into it. Like I just was researching a little bit my junior year, but my senior year, I was really looking where I want to go. I wanted something like hands-on in the engineering field or tech field, which I've always somewhat liked a little bit. And I decided to just apply online, and it was like December, November. I don't really remember when I applied, but I applied online, sent in all my stuff, and they hit you up the phone interview, and then for your phone interview, from there you get to go in and do your in-person interview and see if they like you, and they like to know if you're a hands-on person, and they really they really like people who just really like hands-on stuff because that's a lot of stuff you're gonna be doing, and you got to be the word for it, just very smart. I don't like smart in like the engineering field, just like figuring stuff out, like figuring out like they're not gonna hand you stuff, they're gonna make you figure out. You're not gonna sit there and get answers fed to you, but you're gonna learn a lot by yourself, which is really helpful.
Right.
That
Right.
it helps with problem solving skills. It's helped a lot.
Mhm. So I know college is one aspect of this apprenticeship going to Road State. Have you started
Yeah.
that? How does that look, or how will that look going forward if you haven't started that yet?
Yeah. I just had my first semester ended like a few weeks ago, and I started back in August for my first semester, and it's a lot of math classes, but uh, they do you go 2 days a week for your classes, and like my schedule consisted of like 8 to 4 one day, and then the next day was whenever we get let out by our professors, but it was like 8 to 3:50, 8 to 2, whenever.
Mhm.
But we go 3 days to work. So I went Monday, Wednesday, Friday to work, and Tuesday and Thursday I went to college. So they'll like split it up a little bit. So it's not all going to work 5 days a week, and then you got college in between. Really
Okay.
nice.
Interesting. Now, do you have two options as far as the degree you earn, or is it an engineering degree and everyone gets the same one?
It's I think before, I'm not 100% sure, but before it was like a separate between like mechanical and electrical, but I think they merged them as just one degree, so we all get the same degree no matter if you're going mechanical or electrical. But they merged them, I think. So it's a little associate engineering degree for
Okay.
tech.
And when do you make that decision whether you want to go the electrical or the mechanical route when you're at GROB?
As soon as you get done with both rotations of your basic training, like right at the end, we do the supervisor bring you down and talk to you. They'll like show your grades and what you're strong at and what they think's best for you, and they'll try to get what's best for what our opinions are on that, and then they'll decide from our opinions and their own opinions on what we're best at and what we think we're best at.
Right.
So
Okay. That's
yeah,
nice to have some say in that.
yeah,
But also get that feedback from them that they obviously have a lot of experience and can tell you, hey, this is where
yeah,
we really think you'll fit well. So you've been there, pushing 6 months or so.
yeah.
And what are some of the things you like the most about this career? Obviously, the hands-on you like. Is there anything else that has really been enjoyable or you've appreciated with this career choice?
I definitely like the first shift, 7 to 3:30. I think it's a really good shift to work straight out of high school. Like you have a lot of time when you get home, and everybody says this at work that we work that the people that work at Grill, everybody says this, but the food is it's really good, really good. Everybody loves it. Every day, you get three options. You either get a salad or from two entrees, get like Jamaican jerk chicken with rice, and you get the soup. You get a choice between two soups and chicken noodle, chili, whatever. It's really filling, especially for lunch. You gotta really watch your figure when you're working there because they feed you a lot of food. And then when you got nothing to do, we got a cafe at work, so go down to the cafe, vending machines. They make fresh sandwiches, like potato bowls, biscuits and gravy all the time. So
Oh,
everybody,
wow.
as soon as we get there, everybody goes down to the cafe and gets some food.
Okay.
And they got a bunch of stuff. It's really nice.
Very cool.
But
Very cool.
definitely the lunch. Lunch is really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there were other students at Van Buren or other places interested in this apprenticeship, what advice would you give to them as they prepare to apply, prepare to hopefully be accepted?
Just say don't really be scared and don't be nervous during your first interview. Like even if you don't make it first try, a lot of people that work there, like that are above me, they didn't make it your first application. They'll apply again next year and most likely get it. But definitely don't be nervous of the interview because for me, the interview is pretty scary, and I still got in. So you just don't be nervous.
Right, right,
But
right.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, and I think especially with high schoolers, this is possibly a first interview and
yeah,
being confident can maybe be difficult, but knowing that, I didn't realize that the opportunity was still there if you did not get accepted the first time to
yeah,
apply again and so forth. So that's really good to know. So I realize you have not been out of high school for that long, but
yeah.
you're still out for a while. So, is there anything that you've learned in the last 6 months that you wish you had known when you were still in high school?
Like when I was in high school, I mean, I really didn't like since I've been working at Grow, we take soft skills and financial lessons and learn how to manage our money, put in our retirement. We just started retirement our January 1st. So learn how to manage, putting our money into that and also having money to spend and put away, save, run an emergency fund. Like they teach you all this stuff and like buying a new car, it's always not the smartest idea. Like straight out of high school, when you get all this big boy money, you don't want to spend it all. And a lot of people buy cars and stuff and nice things, but they really focus on teaching you like the best decisions for your future. And we really run through they run through the statistics and like just putting a lot of money in your retirement early and all that. That really helps out for the future. But that's one thing I learned a good amount in high school, but they really focused on that. And I didn't realize how important it was until I really didn't have much money in high school. I worked at Walmart for a little bit.
Right.
And now that I have money, learning to manage it really, really helps. I didn't really learn how to manage it when I was in high school.
Yeah, that's the same thing I wish I had learned a lot earlier than I did. But that's really cool that they are really focused on developing the entire person and helping you grow not only in the actual work that you're doing, but managing life outside of that. And that's a great benefit I know that GROB offers with, matching some of the money that you put into your 401k and so forth. So Chance, I really appreciate it, and a lot of really good information. And I would encourage anyone who's watching that might still be interested, reach out to Chance. I'll have his email address here at the end so that you can learn more about this opportunity. Reach out to GROB. I know GROB has some Saturdays where people can go take the apprenticeship tour and learn more about it. So this is a really great opportunity, and Chance, I hope that this continues to be a great experience for you. And I look forward to hearing about, your experiences finishing the apprenticeship and where you go from there, whether it's at GROB or somewhere else as an engineer. So thank you very much, and good luck as you continue down your career path.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching and listening to this episode of the Joust About Careers podcast. I hope you learned valuable information from this career story, and to be sure you don't miss upcoming episodes, please click subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform so you'll know when the next episode is released. Thank you for watching, and as always, this is the place to go to learn just about careers.